G'day, Steve Morgan, Fishing Monthly Magazine's on a beautiful morning on the Gold Coast this morning, and it's home of Whitewater Marine. Steve Jenkins, you're the man to see there if you want to buy a boat. It doesn't get much better than this winter on the Gold Coast, does it? We're not even wearing jackets.
Oh, a cracker of a day on the Gold Coast again.
We've got a boat with us today that I see a lot of on the Gold Coast. This family/fishing boat that you can use for everything is normally one that you can get past the wicket-keeper at home and get one into the garage.
Oh, look, it's a funny story. When customers come into the yard, we generally see the husband come in looking for a sort of designated fishing boat.
Yep.
Then you'll bring the wife in and they normally drive out with one of our bow riders.
That's it, because this is the compromise, isn't it?
Well, when you say compromise, I'm not sure. This is just simply a boat that'll do everything.
Yes.
They've got all the bits and pieces you need to cover the whole family.
Give us the details of the boat, what make, what model, and what's it got on the back of it.
Okay, this is a Telwater Stacer 589 Wildrider SE is the model. It's powered by the Yamaha DEC F150 XCA, which is the drive-by-wire controlled motor. Fantastic package on the Telwater tandem-axle alloy trailer. And
I'm surprised it's on the tandem-axle, like it's the safest option, but the tandem-axle, this sits on the weight range where you can tow it with everything, but a tandem-axle is a smart idea.
The tandem axle is a much better idea on a boat about this size. People tend to, when they go on holidays, like to load the boat up and use it as a bit of a box trailer.
Bikes, freezers.
Yep. You've got to make sure you've got enough allowance there on your ATM, your carrying capacity on the trailer. So we put them all on the tandem trailer, so you've got a bit up your sleeve.
Tell us about the Stacers. They're built at the Telwater factory, probably 10 or 15 k's north of us right here. Boat and trailer from the same manufacturer has its advantages, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It has a lot of advantages. They make their trailers specifically for their design boats, so everything fits perfect first go.
Tell us about the trailer itself, the aluminium I-beam trailer. I've seen them bending the big beams up at Telwater there. It's a pretty interesting process, but the end result is a light trailer that's strong and it's going to last you, isn't it, compared to the old galvanised trailers?
They are a lot lighter, so it again brings your ATM down. It means that smaller vehicles are able to tow the bigger packages by keeping the weight down. Being alloy, obviously, no rust.
Yep.
They're a genuine drive-on trailer. They're just well built and again, specifically designed for their boats.
Tell us about the configuration of this boat. It's a bow rider configuration, and to me, straight away when I look at the craft, it's got a really big cockpit in the back. So you do say it's not a compromise. It's got the best of both worlds. This front deck, it's got the padding on it at the moment so you can lounge around, but that all comes out and turns into a fishing deck, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you want to get out and flick a few lures while the wife and the family are sitting down the back having a Chardonnay, etc., pull your cushions off the front, you've got a full casting platform.
Yep. And then down the back, it's got that rear, that little sort of lounge seat. It folds away.
It folds out of the way, yeah. If you're sort of fishing out the back of the boat on anchor, etc., just fold the seat up out of the way and you've got plenty of room in the back of the boat.
And I noticed the bait board mounted on that pole. I assume you can put a ski pole in there.
Well, that is a ski pole. If you just simply lift the bait board off the top, you've got your stainless ski pole.
So you don't even have to change the poles anymore?
Don't have to change
Just
anything.
change the tops.
Nope.
Pretty smart. And then under the deck, I'm always interested in the fish boxes, but it's got a ski well that you call it for the water sports.
It's got what we'd call a ski locker under floor. It's a rotor-moulded plastic bin.
Yep.
It actually has two under the floor. You could use them as a bait box if you wanted to.
Yep.
Whilst they're not insulated, they will still hold water and ice if you want them. They're bunged off. Otherwise, you can put all your ski gear and fishing rods under the floor, out of the way.
Yep. And of course, in Queensland, we do need the bimini top there, and this one has got an optional extension to it.
Yeah, a little bit extended out the back just to cover the kids when they're on the back lounge. That is removable, so if you are going just fishing for the day, you can easily unzip it, leave it in the garage, don't need it there at all, and you've got a bit more open space in the back.
How many of these sort of rigs would you sell a year? Like, is this bread and butter, this, or is it?
Yes and no. The bow riders are probably the most popular style of boats we sell on the Gold Coast, just due to our sort of climate and the nature of the Gold Coast. We would sell probably more Wildriders, and the range starts at 4.9 metres and goes right through to over 6 metres. So there are a fair few boats in the range. The 589 is one of the better sellers, as it will take 7 people, 7 adults, so you can take sort of the family and a couple of friends with you.
Yep, that's right. Well, that sounds great. On paper, we're going to put it on the water, we're going to take it for a run, we're going to show you what it looks like on the Gold Coast, and importantly, come back to you with some of the performance statistics. So there you go, what a picture perfect day on the Gold Coast to take out this Stacer Wildrider, in this case that 589 SE model, with a few of the extra options that most customers want. Now this boat was a demo boat for Whitewater Marine and it is looking for a new home at the moment, but this model of boat is available through these guys who are a Stacer Yamaha dealer. And let's go from bow to stern about what we liked and didn't like about the boat. I, as a fisherman, love the removable cushions at the front that turn into a casting deck. It can be a lounge, you can pull out the divider in the middle, it can be a sort of a bench seat that you can sit around, or you can pull it all out, leave the casting deck in, and you can fish off that deck. And if this was my boat, I'd have the electric motor mount at the front, and it would be Dad's boat up the front. The way this is divided, console's a fair way forward. It's probably 1/3 deck at the front, 2/3 cockpit. There's quite a large cockpit in the boat, divided of course by the windscreen that's slid in the middle that you can walk through. Helm itself, everything's laid out pretty nicely. Telwater have really refined that rotor moulded dashboard that they use, flush mounted sounder, and there is a heap of storage space under both sides of those consoles. Now the trade-off for that is I felt like I needed somewhere to put my feet, and I'd just be putting a little step so I could rest against it if it wasn't a picture perfect day. But the storage space is actually pretty good in this boat, where at first instance you might think there isn't much in there. Now underneath the floors you've got those two big wet storage areas. You can throw your water sports gear, you can throw your fish if you want. They've both got bungs in them, they're both rotor moulded, hosable out at the end of the day. Plenty of storage in the side pockets here for all your fishing gear or all your day gear. But if you're a passenger, of course, you've got some really good, a really big glove box on the passenger side as well. In the Queensland climate, you're going to need shade. This is the standard bimini, which comes on the SE model. This one's got the optional extension at the end, but I felt that it was just a little bit too low. Like there is an option where you can get a higher bimini on it and a longer bimini on it, but you have to duck a little bit to get under there. So just be aware of that. Some people, if you're sitting around all day, it's not going to be a drama at all. Move down the back of the boat, you've got that folding lounge chair at the back, which folds literally all the way out of the road if you want to stand in the back of the boat and be right up to the gunnels when you're fishing. Love the idea of the combined ski pole with baitboard topper. A lot of boats you have to pull out the ski pole, replace it with a baitboard. This one, the pole is the same for both. You just put the baitboard stuff on top and you're ready to go fishing. Like all boats, egress on or off the trail is important. So this one's got the folding down ladder at the back, and importantly, it's got the transom door there. So it's really easy to get your gear and yourself in and out of the boat when you're both on the water having a swim, or like now when you're on the trailer loading up for the day. On the back there's that the Yamaha 150 horsepower, this one with the included Helm Master Ready steering, like the digital shift and throttle, very smooth. It's any of the motor brands, when you've got the digital throttle, it's a better experience when you're driving. So this one here is Helm Master Ready. If you want to put the Helm Master kit on this Yamaha, it's no worries at all. Let's talk about some of the performance stats of the boat on the water. As usual, best cruising speed, that mid 3,000 RPM, where we got 2.1 kilometres per litre at 3,500 RPM. But if you wanted to rev that up to about 4,500 RPM, that economy only drops about 10 to 15%. And like always, if you want to put the hammer all the way down, you're going to nearly halve that economy, or double the fuel usage per kilometre travelled. So at 6,000 RPM, this thing goes 68 kilometres an hour, 1.1 kilometres per litre. Now this thing's got over 100 litres under the floor. Even at driving it fast, you're going to have well over 100 kilometres of range, but if you go easy on the throttle, near 200 kilometres of range, which is, on the Gold Coast here, I don't see anyone exhausting that over a weekend. No matter where you are in Australia, this boat has its applications, mainly in summer, I suppose, down south, but winter on the Gold Coast. I can't think of a better way to spend a day with the family than in the Wildrider 589 SE. We don't put pricing in videos anymore, but you can check out Whitewater Marine's website or give Steve a call there. He can give you the latest pricing, and if you're real quick, you might be able to snap this demo up for the right price. Pricing down in the description.